I'm your host, Peter Komendowski, and welcome to Surviving Bad, where we explore Iowa's stories of survival, hope, and inspiration. Today, we're going to learn about Love Inc., which besides having a great name, and we'll share a little secret a bit later about that name, it also has a great mission. See, churches, by their very nature, all try to respond when people need help. But though there are a lot of churches, there are also a lot of needs that not every church can meet. A church acting alone is not as strong as the faith community from all churches working together, and Love Inc. builds these important connections that help churches meet the needs of the community. Joining us today from Love Inc. are Jenny, Brandon, and Kelly. Let's meet our guests and welcome to the show. Jenny, start out telling us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Peter, for inviting the three of us to be on your show. We are really excited, and we just want the community of the Cedar Valley to know about Love Inc. as much as possible. I'm the new executive director of Love Inc. I started on September 27th. It's been a little bit of a rocky transition just from the standpoint of my health, but I'm doing good now. And so getting full steam ahead. We have a wonderful team, wonderful staff, amazing volunteers that help push forward our mission, and just super excited about the future and just maximizing our potential.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Kelly.
I'm Kelly Voss. I've been with Love Inc. for about 2.5 years now. I am the clearinghouse coordinator, so I manage our volunteers. And I also run what we call our clearinghouse, which is essentially our fancy name for the call center where we take in requests from the community.
Excellent. And Brandon?
Yes, Brandon Peterson. I had the opportunity to be asked to volunteer my time and serve my community. And I've been volunteering as a treasurer the last year, and starting here in 2022, serving as volunteer board chair. It's been a wonderful opportunity to meet many volunteers and people serving the needs here locally.
You know, it's sort of a fascinating thing because in essence, we never think about churches working like totally closely together. Not that they're not together, but they're together in common goals, common missions. But your organization really connects churches based on need, and sort of overcomes all the barriers of what faith and what church, and helps raise their overall capacity for benefiting the community. Now, how did you first find out about Love Inc.? And sort of how does that work from your point of view?
So how I got introduced to Love Inc. is one through our church. Our connection group, which is a different name for Bible study, had the opportunity to serve a meal at one of our missional classes. And I got to see, one, the people in need share a table, share a meal, hear their story, and also see the volunteers, how they got plugged in. And I guess we're so fortunate. There's just a lot of hurt and a lot of need in our local communities that just sometimes go unnoticed. That was followed up with a guy I work with. He asked if I would learn more about Love Inc. and care to sponsor in one of their Love Inc. golf outings, and then was asked would I ever consider serving my time. And the mission of the organization lined up with my faith values, and just was a great opportunity to serve the community here.
You know, a quick question, because I intimated in the opening that Love Inc. has sort of an interesting twist to its name. When you first hear it, you think incorporated. But what does the Inc., the I-N-C, stand for?
In the name of Christ.
It's fantastic. You know, I was really caught in a wonderful surprise when I came to that realization. Now, Kelly, just for a quick overview, what are some of the basic needs that you're looking at fulfilling in the community? The actual things that people in our Cedar Valley really need?
Sure. There's a lot of need in the Cedar Valley. And so we have what we call GAP ministries. And that word GAP is in reference to meeting a gap in our community. So we have noticed that perhaps there are not enough of those particular resources in our community. And so that's a gap. And so we have had our church partners step up to fill those gaps in the community. So that could be anything from baby essentials and supplies, diapers, wipes, baby clothing, baby wash. All of those things are included in our baby supply ministry. We also do food boxes that include essential items, both personal items and household supplies like toilet paper, paper towels. We have one church that provides cleaning supplies. It's a big need for a lot of people when they move into a new apartment. A lot of times those apartments have not been cleaned, or it is just not something that people have money on to buy a new bucket and mop and broom and cleaning supplies. All of that stuff adds up. So that's another ministry that we have, is cleaning supplies. We do financial requests as well. So we can provide some money towards things like water bills, minor car repairs, and maintenance on your vehicles, things like that. So just a huge variety of needs. If there's a gap, we try to fill that need.
One really quick question, I'm asking for a short answer before we go to break. Does it surprise you how much of a need there is in the Cedar Valley?
It has surprised me since working here at Love Inc. I've been blown away by how many people live in daily need.
We're going to take a short break and we'll be back to continue our conversation about Love Inc. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. See you all after the break.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Today, more than ever, you need fast, reliable internet. At Mediacom, we want you to know you can count on us. Our fiber-powered 100% gigabit technology network was built for the future. We have enormous capacity and power and 99.99% network reliability. So even though these are uncertain times, we're prepared, and you can be certain we'll keep your world connected.
Welcome back to Surviving Bad. We're talking with Jenny, Brandon, and Kelly about Love Inc., a faith-based, volunteer-driven organization that really meets some important needs in a unique way. You know, Brandon, when I first met Jenny after church, talking about what Love Inc. does, I didn't know Love Inc. really existed, apart from maybe a couple of mentions here and there. But since then, once I've opened up my eyes, I've run into many people that work with Love Inc., go through the classes you have. How would people watching this show sort of get to know more about you, learn about you, and sort of what are you looking for when you're looking for people to get involved?
You know, really just people who are willing to meet people where they're at. Just from personal experience, I've gained so much more in giving my time and serving others than probably what people receive from me. You know, one thing that's great about Love Inc. is we value the person. We don't see anything that we do as a hand up. We want people to be engaged with Love Inc. with dignity, and we want them to leave them better than where they came. And that just looks different from situation to situation. And because we're so relationally focused, you know, we draw a very diverse group of volunteers with different skill sets. So anyone who really, you know, heart breaks for the single mom, people who are going through a rough transition, family, financial issues. We have so many, we're so lucky to be able to give to people who are just in different life spots. So my plea to people would be, man, you can help so many people, and it's so easy to take for granted what the Lord freely provides to many of us.
You know, a quick question for you. Do you have a story about maybe something that's happened since you've been with Love Inc. that's really moved you?
Oh man, I get served a taste of humble pie all the time. I guess I remember in one of our executive director meetings, hearing about a volunteer who started taking the classes, but now is volunteering her time freely to give back. And at the time, the decision was, should we be providing gas cards for our volunteers? this is someone who is living, by all means, taking a lot of steps, but still probably from some standards in poverty. But she saw value in bringing people up and raising the bar for her community. And, you know, the decision to cross to me was, you know, I was thinking, well, who is this individual? And my goodness, like someone who's prioritizing others' needs way beyond her own, was just heartbreaking and so encouraging all at the same time.
You know,
That's
it's a
really
humbling
neat when,
experience.
sorry, it's
go ahead.
really neat when we see our clients step into volunteering in that way. We have quite a few people that started out as clients and now are giving back by volunteering through Love Inc. And it's really encouraging to watch that go from a place of being a receiver to a giver.
You know, that's great testament to what you're doing and how you're impacting the community. Now, Jenny, you're sort of new to Love Inc. Are you new to Love Inc. overall or just to working with Love Inc. now?
Just working with Love Inc. I was on staff at Nazareth Church for 15 years. So when Holly Hartley, she started our affiliate in the Cedar Valley, she started it in 2010. Love Inc. is a national organization. There's almost 120 in the United States, and then there's 2 in Kenya right now, and it's growing, more popping up all the time, which is such a blessing, and we're so excited about the future of Love Inc. National and international, and also, of course, right here in the Cedar Valley, because we just feel like our potential is unlimited. We really want to learn how to maximize, you know, what we have and maximize our volunteers and just the Love Inc. here in the Cedar Valley, as you know, all the national affiliates are doing. So yeah, so I knew quite a bit about Love Inc. We had visited the office and knew about the clearinghouse and all that. So when my sister actually sent me the job description for the executive director, I read it over and prayed about it. And I just felt led to submit an application, and I'm so thankful and grateful. I really love it and very much enjoyed it. And again, working with Kelly and Paige and Brandon, our board is amazing, super healthy, super passionate. It's just been nothing but a blessing, not just for me, but for my family as well.
Now, do you have a story you can share as well?
Oh gosh, I have many. Well, I know on Tuesday night we had our graduation. So I wasn't physically there, but the story that came from there is several of the graduates are given the opportunity to speak and share some of their testimony. And I don't know that there was a dry eye from what the folks that were there, a dry eye, just again, kind of like Kelly and Brandon said, you know, it's not about, we're not just here, here's a box of food, good luck, we wish you the very best. It is about a hand up, and we want to come around the person as a whole. When they reach out to Love Inc. and they call into the clearinghouse, which the clearinghouse is the heart of our ministry, which makes Kelly's job so important. When they call in, you know, it's an extensive intake interview. We pray with them, and then we require them to come to our Begin Now classes, which are like faith and finances and, you know, improving themselves, affirmative potential, some other kind of, try to throw in some fun ones there. So it's about helping them as a whole, not just meeting this individual need.
This is a great place to take a break, because I'd like to talk more about some of those needs that you fulfill and how you do it. So after a short break, we'll take a closer look at Love Inc., not just through the stories that are a testament to a job well done, but to some of the services that they put on the ground that help our communities throughout the Cedar Valley. See you all after the break.
Today, more than ever, you need fast, reliable internet. At MediaCom, we want you to know you can count on us. Our fiber-powered 100% gigabit technology network was built for the future. We have enormous capacity and power and 99.99% network reliability. So even though these are uncertain times, we're prepared. And you can be certain we'll keep your world connected.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back to Surviving Bad. I'm your host, Peter Komendowski, and we're with Jenny and Kelly from Love Inc., talking about the power of unity and faith and why their efforts are so welcome in the various church communities throughout the Cedar Valley. You know, Kelly, it's such an amazing thing to bring, you have 26 some churches or more?
36, actually.
36, all
Yep.
connected on this mission, which, you know, we don't think about church. We see them as sort of islands on their own. We don't think about them being so connected. How is that working? What are some of the things that happen when a church comes to you and says, I want to get involved?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. That's one of the things that drew me to taking a position at Love Inc. in the first place, was that I saw churches working together to meet needs in the community and people being equipped in the churches to serve their community. A lot of times people want to help people in their community, but they just don't know how. And that is what Love Inc. does. We equip our churches, our local partners, to make a difference in the community by providing administrative assistance. We keep track of all of the clients that give us a call and help ease that burden off of our church pastors, off of our church secretaries. And a lot of churches feel that that's a big asset. That's a big help to them, and it allows them to free up their members to do the actual hands-on work. And so all different denominations have been welcome with Love Inc. We love to partner people together from all different backgrounds, and all of our clients are unique as well. And so we feel that the more diversity that we can have in our church partners and our church network, the better.
What's your goal? I don't even know how many churches are in the Cedar Valley. I mean, do you guys think about it? Wow, how effective can we be if we had so many churches? I mean, if somebody's watching this and they belong to a church that's not involved, should they call you guys and say, hey, this sounds like a great thing?
Jenny, do you want to answer that one?
Absolutely. We reach out to the many different churches. I've been researching which, churches are not a part of Love Inc. And currently right now, I've been calling them. I've had a couple meetings with some churches that are not yet involved. And again, we work for the church. That is part of our mission statement, is that we mobilize the local church to help transform lives and communities in the name of Christ. And we will have mission drift if we aren't mobilizing the local church to do the work, to be the hands and feet of Christ, and to have their congregations rise up. And whether it's fill a gap ministry, and Kelly would talk with them about, okay, what's a gap we have right now? We just had another church that just decided to help with linens, correct, Kelly?
Correct.
So now we have two.
Bedding for clients who maybe are coming out of homelessness or just don't have the sheets and the blankets, so they need to stay warm.
So we just were able to secure another church that is able to do linens as well. So now we have two local churches that are partnering with us to provide those items that are such a need. I just can't imagine going without those items. So we are, if there's a church listening, please feel free to call Love Inc. We will come meet with you, and we will help you help your congregation meet the needs of our community. And not just from a handout, but from a hand up standpoint.
You know, there are so many people that I get to talk to that work within what's often referred to as the system, public health system, DHS, and there's often a real powerful impediment called stigma to getting involved in that system. And there's also an inherent loneliness in that the system, though it has individuals that work there that care, it's not built on a system of caring and compassion. Now, that's one of the things that makes your organization unique, is that, the faith-based approach, which is very effective in intervention in many levels, in substance use disorder and other things. And it's just as important in bringing our communities up when it comes to hunger, homelessness, and the basic needs that people need. Is it working to help give people not just a solution, but a sense of hope and belonging that lasts long after what they've learned?
Yes, ideally, it is our goal to have a holistic approach. That is part of the training that we provide when we are training new volunteers, is that they need to come at these needs from a holistic approach, which means seeing the whole person, meeting their individual needs beyond their tangible needs. So we talk a lot about how all humans have emotional needs, all humans have spiritual needs, and also the physical needs as well. And all of those things need to be addressed. If you meet one need, like their tangible needs, that's great, but there's still going to be something missing in that person. That person is still going to continue to struggle. And so we believe that getting people into community, a supportive place where they can build relationships with people that are going to encourage them and mentor them is the right course.
That's just fantastic. We're going to take a short break now. And when we come back, we'd like to invite you and Kelly and Jenny to share some final comments and insights that you've gained from your work that might help people that are watching. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Every second, 127 new devices connect to the internet. You can feel it happening. Our digital world expanding with every breath. We're entering a whole new era of connectivity, and MediaCom will be ready to power it with one of the nation's first 10G platforms. We'll be bringing you more speed, more capacity, more security, and the power to do more than you ever dreamed possible.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Today, more than ever, you need fast, reliable internet. At MediaCom, we want you to know you can count on us. Our fiber-powered 100% gigabit technology network was built for the future. We have enormous capacity and power and 99.99% network reliability. So even though these are uncertain times, we're prepared, and you can be certain we'll keep your world connected.
Welcome back. Today on Surviving Bad, we're talking about faith, the power of connections, and how Love Inc. is building bonds between churches and people that are meeting some of the most important needs of our communities. Let's hear what ideas and advice our guests have to share. Jenny, I'll put it in your court for now.
All right. So when we've talked about this holistic view of the person, of helping the person, number one is we see them as a child of God, like they have inherent value. We pray with them. That's a huge part. Another part of redemptive compassion is that the client has to participate as well, and they have to contribute to their needs. So if they have, say they have a car repair, they have to pay half. If they are in the need of a refrigerator, they need to pay half. So, we strongly encourage them to come to the Begin Now classes, just because we know they're going to find that relational connection that also they need, as Kelly talked about, emotional, physical, spiritual, mental. We partner them up with a mentor, and we are able to just try to minister to them as a whole, unique, beautiful, wonderful, valuable child of God. And that's so powerful. And to see the transformation that happens within their lives, and then hopefully they help encourage others to come and be a part of it. Oftentimes our clients invite people to come to our classes, and they say, you could really use this, and then we get to meet more people that way. So it's such a blessing.
Is it a little scary for people? I mean, there's a little bit of stigma associated with reaching out for help. And maybe the faith thing might be a little frightening and saying, is this some kind of a cultish thing? What are they asking me to do? I mean, or is it sort of working out because it's based on love and compassion?
Yes, it is based on love and compassion. And certainly, we are, loving in the name of Christ. So we do share the gospel, because true transformation is not going to happen in a person's life without Jesus. So, and we obviously strongly believe that. And so, yes, we definitely lead with the gospel. That's a huge part of our mission statement, and will always be number one in the forefront. And then we come alongside and do what Jesus would asks us to do, is help meet their needs in many different ways, not just tangible.
Well, and outside of the show, I have talked to people that have been through your experience, and they speak so highly of it, and they're just so warmly embracing what you're doing that we had to have you on the show. All right, Kelly, you have a different perspective on sort of what has to evolve with people and what you do. Share that with us, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to echo what Jenny said, we are a faith-based program, but we know that faith looks different for every person, and they're all in different steps along their faith journey. And so we try to make it a warm place, a safe place, as people call us. We try to train our volunteers to be compassionate on the phone from that very first time that they reach out to us, to the mentorship relationships that they can build at our Begin Now classes. We serve a variety of different people. And so we have a lot of diversity in the needs, from people who have grown up in generational poverty. It's always maybe been part of their story, to suburban middle-class families who have come across something that has just kind of thrown their life off the track, whether it's a medical emergency and now they have high hospital bills, or car accident, or just something with their job that was unexpected. And so we encourage all types of people to reach out if they are in a place of struggling and can use a little bit of support, whether that's financial or emotional or spiritual. We have plenty of people who just call us to be prayed for, and that's great. We love that too.
So if they're not part of a church, even though you're serving churches, they can call Love Inc. directly and get the help that they need.
Everyone is welcome.
That's such a great message. I thank you both for being here today, and Brandon, of course, and for sharing, what's really happening in the Cedar Valley that's helping to bring people up and together to better themselves and make the community stronger. And thank you all for joining us today. Check out our website at healthyiowa.org for more information, and keep your eye on MediaCom MC22 for our next episode of Surviving Bad, where we explore stories of survival, hope, and inspiration. On MediaCom MC22, your local programming leader.